Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And Scotty Allwood. Hey!
Yeah, we're back. War of the Worlds 2, Episode 4. Benedict Laurel. I don't get that reference. Who is Benedict? It's Benedict Arnold, right?
Right.
What did he do?
He
Burn eggs?
did something. Man, I wish I would have known you were asking this, because I could have sounded so smart and just looked it up real quick, and you really fucked us both right here, making us look real dumb real quick. He definitely betrayed somebody, I'd
He had
say.
to have, right? Yeah, he had to have. It's stupid. What a way to
If
start.
you're interested in finding out more about Benedict Arnold, go somewhere else, because this we don't know.
Yeah, man.
What an episode,
but we do
though.
know,
Another great episode.
yes, another great episode. It really had a whopper of an ending. But I wanted to say that it was watched by 0.72, which is a bit of a dip, the slightest dip.
I did
from
not
the
see that
previous
coming.
episode.
I would have put all on it going up a little bit, at least. People telling their friends, "Oh my God, you see that episode?" kind of thing.
Unless there's a bunch of West fans who are like, "Fuck this," and they
Yeah,
just
I'm
leave.
out. They
Maybe.
dipped.
And now goes Laurel's fans. Spoilers. But let's get to the mission. Let's go at it like this. It's Relic Runner, which really they shot it very dramatically. I mean, we'll get into what it actually is about, but they shot it very dramatic. Lots of close-ups, lots of slow motion shots, but
Yeah.
the balls just kind of bounced off people. We had maybe one person fall directly to, on purpose. The rest is sabotage, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I guess one on each team did fall accidentally. Nicole and then Ninja, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't remember Ninja falling, but I looked it up. They were like, Ninja fell. And I was like, oh, shit, that's right.
What are you doing while you're watching these episodes? Because you should remember that, all right? That was a big point. Because she was
only-
even like, "Oh, I got that. The only thing we got to remember is just don't fall, guys." And then she's the one who fell. I love it when they do stuff like that.
Yeah. I only watched this episode once.
Same.
Yeah, and I tried to watch it again before we recorded, but the fucking video got all messed up and jacked up, so I had to read someone else's review.
Since we watch them the next day on a different platform and try to do that really quick within our lives and then record right after I get off of work, it's hard for us to like actually get into details like we did back in the past. Life's hard, guys.
Behind the curtain, Scott gets home, doesn't shower, doesn't do any of
My
that
feet
stuff. He
stink
sits
right
down.
now. I have to go through a stinky feet hour to record this for you guys.
And meanwhile, I'm like ready to just, call it a day. Like, I don't really stay up too late anymore. So I'm just like, well, it kind of cuts into my drinking. And I'm usually, passed out by this time. So I pace myself. Okay, so let's talk about the Relic Runner, where it's basically in two heats or two.
You have
two-
one
two
team
rounds.
at the top of a hill, and they have, small balls, medium-sized balls, and then like a ball where you can jump inside of it and, roll around in it. One of
That
those
was kinda
clear
cool.
type balls. That was probably the coolest part of it. And then they have people off to the side who they can designate as the rinser. They have a huge hose, so they're spray. I guess a sprayer would have been a better word. So they're spraying the other team as they're trying to climb up or walk up this muddy hill, carrying these huge ass relics that are just giant statues of a head, basically.
Yeah.
And that's the whole mission. It didn't sound fun when they were explaining it, and it wasn't too fun to watch. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite moments is that the UK team goes first, so the US doesn't really know when to throw the balls or how to throw the balls. They're still kind of figuring it out. And Bananas is ready with a slingshot to throw one of these balls at the people, and he's like, "I'm going," and Jordan's like, "Don't do it," and then Bananas is like, "Shut up," and lets it go, and it cuts to this wide angle shot, and it's so hilarious because it's just this tiny ball rolling down the hill, not affecting anybody.
Yeah, it really reminded me of the Two Towers, where like the one old man can't hold on to his arrow anymore, and he shoots at Urukai, and the guy's like, "What the fuck, man? Not even yet. Like, what the fuck?" And that was Bananas. He was that fucking old man who couldn't hold his quiver anymore, man. So yeah, UK go and they try and go for fucking what's
They
her
go
name?
to the left side, which was smart because it was furthest away from the hose.
Right. Yeah, that immediately made it less fun. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Right.
immediately knew that I was like, fuck this.
They made
Just go
they
to the
probably
left.
made it just a little too big of a mud area. They should have made that smaller. I think that would have been a little more fun with the hose at least. Because I
That's
mean the
true.
hose was getting the place muddy, but wasn't affecting them too much.
And as someone who has read about the civil rights movement and the riots, I wouldn't be a fan of seeing other human beings hosed with a fire hose like that. That would.
Do you apply every single challenge to certain atrocities that have happened in life?
I do. I really do. Oh, but what's her name? Real quick on the UK, she kind of sucked. Esther. I
Oh
still
my
don't know how to
god,
pronounce her name.
yes. She was just a turd out there. She was a turd. Too
Yeah.
bad. Because it's like, oh, okay, you're a rookie and you're getting your name brought up. And then to see her doing poorly in challenges is just like, oh, okay, so I guess, hey, this is the reason you were, up on the chopping block, babe.
Oh
But
yeah.
she's fallen. She can barely carry her relic. But was she the one that fell? I'm pretty sure it was Nicole that fell, right?
I think they fell going back down. Something because CT was pulling her, and then CT fell as well. Do you remember that? Something like that.
Okay, so yeah, I was talking more about the relic, who actually fell with the relic. I was pretty sure that
Oh,
was Nicole.
yeah, it was
But
just
yeah,
Nicole.
Esther did fall and bring down. A lot of people were falling. It was kind of fun. That was fun to see that.
Nicole, holy shit, I forgot you were even on this goddamn show, to be honest with you. All right, so let's talk about the U.S., where fucking Laurel and Bananas want to throw this motherfucker.
I was disappointed immediately when they started talking about this because I feel like this is a reason why the producers don't want to do big team challenges, is because it turns into they're taking the show and not just doing these missions, because the producers and I want to see who is actually the better team, who is actually going to win this mission. And then, they have people throwing a mission, so then it just becomes, no, we don't want to do this team mission, so we're just going to throw it and the other team can win. I understand it from a game perspective, and it made this particular mission way more interesting to me because they were throwing it, and did bring up so much fucking drama. So I feel like we should have another team season immediately after this, is what I'm getting at. I love this team challenge so much.
Well, let me just ask you, though, like, do you understand why they're throwing it? Like, would you have? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's just like, they talked about Wes so much that if this was my first episode, I'd be like, who the fuck is Wes? Why is he so
Right.
relevant?
That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
point. I'm 100% on Laurel's side, which makes me feel
Whoa.
weird
Wow.
because then that means I'm on John's side. And I don't know if it's because that he hasn't been shown often, but or if I'm just that big of a fan of Laurel's. But I was like, yeah, let's go, John. I guess I'm on your side because fuck Kara, fuck Polly, fuck that alliance. Let's get them all out. Let's take them all out. I'm with you guys. I want them gone, even if it means Bananas still being there. That's how much I guess I dislike Kara at this point, is that I would rather just have Bananas there.
Yeah, I was torn as well because, yeah, again, it's like Laurel really kind of, I mean, we'll get into it, but she really goes over the top and shit. And then you have Kara, and I'm like, God, I don't like you, Kara, but I'm not liking what she's doing either. So I was so torn this episode. It was nuts. Okay, so they want to throw it. And Laurel, she specifically, out of everyone, this might have hurt, like, to decide to block, was Cara Maria, right?
Yeah, because Kara's going up the hill with her relic, and then Laurel is right in front of her, tiptoeing just anywhere. If Kara tries to go to her right, Laurel's right there, tiptoeing in front of her still, just keeping her slowing down, which immediately became obvious. Yeah,
Yeah. It should have been someone who wouldn't have spoken up. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Yeah.
or someone who wasn't going to notice it as quickly. Maybe someone else might have, but you had a better chance of not being found out. Why were they so okay with being found out that they were doing this? Especially when Bananas is, oh, I fell. And then, oh, I'm going to fall into Ashley, someone who is insane and will immediately go crazy at the fact that you were bumping into her.
You need to understand, Scott, that according to Leroy, Bananas is the best actor of all time. He's Marlon Brando. Marlon Bananas, man. When Leroy said that, I was like, dude, you give so much shit. And this is going to be brought up later in the episode. They're like, he gives Wes so much shit. And Banana does the same goddamn thing. And it's just like that's brought up in the meeting where they're like, you threw in Wes, but look at what everyone else is doing. It's the same shit. It's fucking crazy, man.
Right.
But yeah, Ashley, she fucking quits. Maybe the UK would have won anyways. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it was fucked up. And it doesn't even end. Everyone's so pissed off. Doesn't like Leroy, Nani and Polly get into it or something?
Yeah, I don't really remember exactly the details of what started it. I feel like I remember Polly being like, "Shut up, Nani, you're trying to get in this." And then Nani's like, "Who you telling to shut up?" And then she ran over to him, and Polly's like turning his shoulder in. There was a whole discussion online when they saw this preview about Nani coming over to Polly and Polly like trying to just deflect her, and it looks like he's shoulder checking her basically, but he was just standing there and turned. I don't know, so maybe she didn't like bump into his chest. Maybe he got nipple rings recently. Not sure.
I would have been in that group where I'm like, Polly, you fucking gave her a shoulder shot in the face or something like that. I don't know. Like, I couldn't tell what I saw. I wish I could have saw this episode again. But
yeah.
But Nani again just used sparingly. But when she emerges, it's like, oh, you again. This whole thing where she just gets really pissed off, and
I like
it's like
Nani,
it's not about you.
She's become such kind of a laughing stock to the other teammates. I think at one point someone said that they would be fine going against Nani because she's not seen as a threat, and that saddens me. Nani didn't used to be a joke to this show. She used to be good.
She was always a joke to me, Scott. All right, so this is crazy because now the UK finally fucking win. TJ is like, okay, now you guys have to elect a speaker or whatever for the tribunal, and just like always, someone volunteers. But holy shit, it's fucking outrageous. It's Georgia at first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she nominates Dee and Idris. And then people are fucking like swearing and like getting pissed and stuff. Then finally comes down to Kyle and Dee. Those are the two main nominees, right?
Yes.
And Kyle, it's a big thing because CT votes for himself. Yeah, that's the third nominee.
They split it up to where I feel like all the guys were voting for Kyle, and then everyone else was kind of voting for D. So it was split down the middle, 6-6, and then it came to CT, and he was like, "I vote for myself." But then TJ was like, "Whoa, it's 6-6, bro. You got to choose one of these people."
Well, before TJ even interjected, it was Kara who was just like, "What the fuck, Chris?" She said Chris a lot.
Boston. What happened to Boston Strong?
Yeah, Boston Strong.
And CT's like, "Bitch, what are you doing? Like, you can't be showing our cards on the table right now. Like, let me be chill about what I'm doing over here."
That's right.
Because
he wanted to be neutral.
Yeah, because it immediately shows if he chooses Kyle, that Kyle wants Kara gone. It's clear as day.
Yeah.
And then D is Kara's friend. So if he doesn't choose D, clearly he's going after Kara in a sense. Is what I guess Kara's freaking out about.
Right. So finally, CT sides with D. Kyle gets mad, but again, this is that same dynamic.
I love it.
Where Kyle's like, "No, I can't. I
can't be mad because he's a beast." We're like, what am I going to do? All right, I guess I'll just deal with it.
All right, so fucking D gets it, and we get the same three nominees that were thrown up to begin with. It's Georgia and Idris, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All of that just to end up in the same place.
Let's go on to nominations, or did they go to the bar before the nominations? I don't remember.
Yeah, because there was all that weird camera work that I don't really understand what they were doing.
What was that?
It looked like Bananas had his GoPro and was pushing it on a cart full of groceries. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it was the stupidest thing.
And then it started like spinning around. I'm like, what is going on at this moment in the episode? Why is this a thing? I didn't get it. It wasn't clear enough from a filmmaking perspective for me to understand what they were going for.
That wouldn't have made the cut for your vicious challenge. Basically, you would have been
Fuck
like, "Fuck,
no.
cut that shit out." Right. So, this is what I thought when looking back, because that camera really did stand out. Where I'm like, unnecessary, especially when we get into spoilers, where they didn't just straight up show Laurel what she did. You know what I mean? Like they never, like it was all kind of in question. Or like, well, there was an extra hole. She put it in there, but there was a spare. They didn't cut back and just show what Laurel did. Instead, they showed us this fucking camera work of Bananas and his goddamn GoPro. So stupid. Right? Agree.
Wait, because you're talking about the elimination, right?
Yes.
But we're talking about the bar scene, which was before that.
Right, but what I'm getting at, that pointless camera framework that we were talking about was shown instead of just showing us what happened with Laurel's elimination.
You don't remember where she placed it and stuff, and they showed that. It was at the very top of the tree, and it looked like a perfect peg hole because it fit the peg perfectly in there.
But they really should have zoomed in on it. Did they zoom in on it and say, like, this is exactly what happened?
I don't necessarily remember a zoom in, but they showed her placing it in this hole at the top of the tree, and then showed Ninja being like, what? There's no hole over here. How do I do this? Kind of thing.
I thought Laurel just stabbed the tree. Anyways, let's go back to the bar. Although, really, like, what's the point? What happened at the bar?
There was
again?
like Georgia talking to Josh, and they had a bunch of subtitles because you could barely understand what the hell they were talking about. They were both drunk. It was more of like, there was a lot about Josh having a crush on Georgia in this episode, and Georgia was like, hey, so anyway, Bear, you want an egg sandwich, and let's go fuck in your bed?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bear asks, like, bitch, make me a sandwich.
Georgia's like, all right, I'll make it for you. And then he's like, you're so sexy. You're beautiful. I love your legs. So, you're going to give me a comment, Georgia, or what? Because I'm giving you all kinds of compliments, and you're not saying anything. And she's like, oh, yeah, you're so pretty. And that's the way to Georgia's heart, just look similar to Bear and give her compliments, beg for him back, and you'll be in.
Well, they end up fucking, and then the next morning,
Georgia's like, yeah, I fucked Bear, Josh.
Right in front of, yeah, right. And Josh's like, well, I might as well kill myself. And they all laugh. And Josh rolls a tear.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to go drown myself in the pool. Like, Jesus, Josh. You're not dramatic at all. You're right.
Okay, so get on to nominations now.
Let's go. Let's go there.
It starts off with, I think Cara goes first and says, Laurel was fucking blocking me, everybody. What the fuck is up with that?
This was a good nominations. I love this a lot. Because Laurel's just such a badass, man. She's like, all right, let me talk. And then she gets to talk. And then my favorite part of this... I'm sorry. My favorite part of this is when Ninja starts complaining about how the votes... Because everyone's vote, like, they vote and Ninja ends up being the one. And she stands up and she's like... Grr! Why are you guys putting me in? You are disgusting. The way you people, weaker people play this game, and you're gonna put me in? And then Laura's like, sit down! She says something, but she's like, sit down! Because I'm speaking now. I'm Laurel. She's just so authoritative, and she knows she's bad. Man, what a badass. Hey, did we talk about, does the cam stuff happen after this? Or before this?
After. Immediately after. So, what else happens? So Laurel's like, hey, guess what? She should have said, Kyle told me everything, and Kyle is so trustworthy. I have to believe it. Because Kyle, I think that's how the episode starts. Kyle's like, listen, Laurel, all these people were working with Wes. And he's like, I don't even know if that was true. He said, I just
love him so much, man. He just keeps making me love him in this season.
Oh, yeah, he's great. So Laurel says it was Cara, Polly, Cam. That's the three I remember anyways. There was some
and then
more,
Ashley. Ashley was supposed to be in there.
Oh,
which we didn't even talk about how we got to nominations with Laurel going around with her notebook again and having this huge long talk with Zach. And I'm liking Zach this season. He's staying under the radar. He's not being a dickhead to everybody, females. And But he's like, yo, whatever you want to do, Laurel, gnarly. I'm in it with you because I know you're a badass.
I think a lot of characters are just in the background this season. They're really, you know what I mean? Like they're really kind of getting like bananas, you know? So everyone's like, it's not that bad. Leroy in the background, it's not that bad. The people that are getting all the camera time are actually going home or in danger of it. You know what I mean? So it's literally the best thing to do is just hang out in the background, Darrell style, man.
Oh yeah. So then Laurel goes to Ashley and wants her to vote for Ninja, and then gets Ashley on her side. So at the little meeting, it was a big deal that Ashley was saying Ninja because Ashley's technically with Cara and Polly, who are wanting to save Ninja. So I don't know. Maybe this will come up in the next girls' elimination or something to that effect. Because why else put it in there? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty interesting because when she says the name, when she votes Ninja, she kind of puts her head down and shit. Like, it's very obvious. So it is actually between Ninja and Laurel, but it's the deciding vote with Ashley. Ninja is in there. And then so she hangs back while everyone leaves. And the only thing I remember is that Dee was like, I'll go against fucking Laurel, right? Something like that.
I don't remember that. I don't remember a lot to do with D. Because I don't
Well,
really
just
care
like,
for
you
D.
take it over, and you're like, I don't know, man.
No, I just don't. I don't care for D, so I don't remember a lot of stuff with D. We can talk about my love for Laurel again, because if I was Ashley or Zach or anybody else on that team, I'm going with Laurel. I do not care if Cara's on the other side with Polly, who's also a decent competitor and shows that he's a good, decent competitor, along with Ninja, who is a decent competitor. Laurel has lost one time in elimination, made 4 of her first show's finals, won a season. Like, she is just unstoppable. There's no way I would choose any other side except for Laurel in this show.
Remember when Laurel is with Bananas? I think this is at the bar where she's like, worst case scenario, they put me in against Ninja, and then I beat her, and then I go up against Car, I beat that again,
yes.
and I win the whole fucking thing. And then Bananas is like, oh, I love you for that. But then he tells Ashley, don't vote in Laurel, vote in Ninja. That's pretty funny. Okay, so are we ready for the elimination, man?
Yes.
This fucking episode is like zooming by. It's crazy.
It is.
I feel like we're
well, we didn't.
Something.
I mean, we didn't get to watch it again. We don't have.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we're just kind of going. You know what? Next week, I'm gonna watch the episode 6 times before we do this tonight on this day.
So by the time it's time to record, you're like, I don't care. I've watched.
You're right. I've already watched this 6 times. I'll just send you the notes. You can read them.
All right.
I was so prepared every single time for vendettas. If you go listen to those, I'm bringing up the most tiniest little details of camera work, of how it opens the show. Like, I'm going to get back to that, okay? I'm sorry, everybody. I'm letting you down.
It's just, I mean, it's really me. Like, I didn't come prepared. I'm like, oh, that's Scott most of the way. All right, so elimination. It's called Branched Out. Michelle branched out. And right away, I just wrote this down. Ninja pre-showboats.
Oh, my God. Another Johnny line that I appreciated was him talking about how she comes in, see that it's going to be a climbing, and he makes fun of her before we actually see it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, she's probably going to be acting obnoxious, but she's even more over the top obnoxious than I ever thought that she would even be. She's jumping around. Like, I wish the viewers could see me right now doing with her hands like up in the air, and she's making little faces like she's a rabbit, and she's putting her hands up and waving them around. It's fucking obnoxious, and I hate Ninja so much now because of this moment. Well, I've never really felt one way about it or the other. But she's going against Laurel. I don't care for it because I like Laurel and I want Laurel to win. And then she's coming in there acting like, oh, I'm going to beat Laurel, who's only lost one elimination, and because of it's a climbing one. I did the face some more. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just was really passionate about how much I hated that moment.
I just want to add that Georgia, at first, she nominated Cara, but then Idris and the other one, Dee, threw in Laurel. And as soon as this happened, I was kind of, again, really fucking torn. Because to me, okay, you say Laurel is like, oh man, she's so badass in this episode. for me, I'm just like, holy shit. She like, yeah, she's badass, but even badasses can just, need to turn it down a bit. You know what I mean? Just like she's just so over the top. The way she was just like, sit down. Like she was roiding out on us, man. She was roiding out on us. And then, of course, we'll get to the part where she's the post showboating and whatever.
That was
That
rough.
is
That was
outrageous.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I thought what Ninja was doing was obnoxious, and then she went and did that afterwards. I was, oh boy. Anyway, we'll get there.
Was she flipping Ninja off, or was she flipping off everyone?
We'll get there, Vince.
What else is there to say?
Sit down. No,
I
I'm
think
just
it's
kidding. He is.
oh God, he's going through his Laurel phase again. Oh Jesus Christ! I'm not Big Easy over here. I might look like him, but I'm not. Nor am I easy. I'm easy. Come on. All right. Anyways, no. The thing is, it's like a fucking telephone pole, basically, because it's not a real tree, right? It's
Right.
fucking made out of foam and shit.
Sure.
So you got to put in those pegs, and you have 21 pegs, and then you ring the thing, right?
Yeah.
That right there has to be noted, because when Laurel gets up, because they're going at the same pace, right?
Yeah, it seemed fairly close the entire time.
Yeah.
Because they were showing us how many pegs they each had left, and it was pretty much like, oh, they got 21 each left, and then, oh, they got 7 left, and retro, they got 2 left.
They only had 21 to do, so I don't think it was ever a time where they're like, they have 21 left. Is this before they started the game? All right. So they're going at a certain pace, and right away, though, when people are like, oh, Ninja's not doing as great as she thought, well, I just kept thinking, I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with her ninja warrior skills.
She's having to like carry these pegs up as she's placing them in the tree.
Yeah.
And she's a lot smaller, so her trying to wrap around to find each hole on the tree is going to be a little more difficult for her. Laurel a little easier since she's, I think, 100 foot tall, and then her arms are 70 feet tall. What? I don't know. Anyway, so Ninja was doing pretty well against Laurel. Well, she's tinier, so it's a little easier to climb. Laurel is heavier. Okay, why am I thinking so much into this? It really isn't necessary.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to think about this shit, man. All right, so it gets to the top, and I had no idea what was going to happen, and Ninja is looking for the hole. She can't find the hole. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I think I sided with Ninja right then and there. Like, because Laurel, again, I like Laurel as well.
Even after her going into with the pre-elimination taunting and happiness and dancing and finger flipping and hand flipping.
Taunting. What? There was no taunting. She was just excitable. Right?
You don't think it was obnoxious? Get out of here, Vince.
It was obnoxious, but it wasn't. It wasn't the attacking sort of way.
Hey, I'm going to be busy for the next 100 episodes of this season. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
All right,
so she's over there, and you're actually thinking, oh wow, like I'm feeling bad for Ninja. She's about to lose after being so happy about this challenge. And then you look over, and Laurel's just like, yeah, I guess it goes up here. Looking around, just I'll put it at the top of the tree. And I swear it was a perfect hole. If you go back and watch this episode, at the top of this tree, she places it in a hole. There's there's the top, which was level, and then there's this thing to the side, which was, the best way to describe it is looking like a volcano, you know how you make in school? It was a tiny version of that would kind of went up a little bit, had a little hole to where she just put the peg in. So what the hell else was that little hole doing up there? Were they trying to make Laurel this all happen? Because Ninja, we cut over to her, and she's trying to find that because she's like, what?
right,
Trying to put it in there, and there's nothing for her to put it in there.
That's fucked up.
But the most important thing is that Laurel does this, and then that's the horn from TJ. I just read a comment before we did this where Jordan said that before he blew the horn, they checked Laurel's tree pole for a long time, for a long period, and then TJ blew the horn. So I don't know who fucking checked the holes and what happened, because when Ninja finds the empty slot, it's at eye level for her. So it was right there on the tree.
Both women missed the same hole. It was the exact same hole because she was like, "Oh, it's right here," because there was like a camera or something like right there,
yeah, right below it. So why would they think that that's going to be a hole for the peg? It looks like it's just a camera that would be filming them. Oh, that's a camera filming me. I'm not going to smash this camera, so moving on.
Yeah, it's just crazy that they both missed the hole, and Laurel just happened to have a hole. I thought she just stabbed it in there, and I was like, why not? Yeah, Laurel's like, I gotta stick it in something. You know what I mean? Like, she's just fucking. She's so manly.
The way she was yelling afterwards, she's like, you gotta do what you can with what you're given. It kind of made it seem as if maybe she did exactly do that. Yeah. She just jammed it in there. Maybe what I'm seeing that looked like a small volcano was just her smashing it into the top of this thing and pushing up part of the level area.
Holy shit.
We really got to watch this next episode.
So she stabbed it and molded it. No one noticed any of this? That's fucked up, man. Holy shit. Okay, so Laurel wins. She's flipping off everybody. She's getting lowered slowly and slowly. And then what she's like fucking going, suck it! Yeah, suck it!
Doing the old when did that start happening? Was that WWF?
Yeah, I want to say Triple H, and
that was the first time I ever saw it. Yeah. And it's just kind of a known thing for everybody now. They put their hands down by their crotch area and say suck it. And she just kept firing it off at Ninja. You see it from Ninja's cam point of view, and then they do this close-up slow motion just of Laurel.
It was the slow motion with her mouth is just so wide, like the Mummy style, man, just like it's crazy. Yeah. Her mouth was bigger than Josh's mouth. Just imagine that.
It was such an embarrassing thing for her to do, even if she did win. I would hate to see that. Even though I wanted Laurel to win, I'm like, ugh, maybe don't do that afterwards, though.
So it's Ninja who's just like, there was no fucking hole or whatever. And she realized that both missed the same hole. And
I thought this was kind of sketchy, is because she went over. She had like Laurel's just like, cool, I won, gnarly, whatever, do, and Ninja's just like playing little detective ninja over there, looking around and like
Detective Ninja coming this fall to Fox.
So then she finds the hole that was missing, goes and looks over at hers, puts hers in there, and then just starts climbing.
Yeah,
they should have reset this elimination or something.
What? Really?
Because Laurel's over here thinking she's won. And Ninja's over in the background just kind of, hey, she thinks she won, so I'm just going to put this stick in there and then climb up the thing and then ring the bell and I win now?
I love that. So I would love that so much more. I mean, I loved it so much more. I don't want that alternate universe where they're like, they make it into a climb. Is that what you wanted?
I just think that Laura wasn't even over in her area, was she, when Ninja started climbing?
No, she was too busy telling everyone to fucking suck it and shit.
The producers should have stepped in and did something for this to be a little more concrete of a win for Ninja. Because Jordan said that they checked over Laurel's, and apparently Laurel, there was some page I follow that has insider information, from, the sites, that said that Laurel was yelling and screaming for like 15 to 20 minutes about how they were trying to take this away from her, this win. And it's hard to know. This is why I think that they should have reset something. Maybe take down the top 5 pegs. I don't fucking know. But the fact that Laurel was over here arguing while Ninja just put it in and then went up, because Laurel was way at the bottom, still just climbing while Ninja was up at the top, just kind of doing her thing, and rang the bell to win. It's just super confusing to me as to why they let it happen that way. Right. Did they actually want Laurel to go home because she was putting too much pressure on getting other favorites out? Or did they just want Ninja to stay that badly? I don't know. Laurel was giving crazy good TV. I don't see why they would want her to leave. Maybe they were... It's so hard because I've been stuck in situations like this too on the Vicious Challenge, to where you have to, in the moment, make a decision and try to make the best decision for that moment.
Right.
So I guess I can understand why they were like, we don't know. I mean, she already climbed up the tree and she put her pole in and knocked the thing. So technically, she did it before you did. So you lose, Laurel?
Wow, we are totally on the opposite sides of the fence here. To me, I'm like, the rules were to put the poles, the pegs, in the designated holes. Laurel did not do that. Sure, she found a mystery hole, and good for her. Who knows what's in it? But a peg, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I felt like it was the good call to let Ninja win, or not even let Ninja win. Ninja won, you know. She figured it out. She was figuring it out the whole time. She was debating. She was thinking it out. As soon as she climbed down, she found hers, found Laurel's, ran back, poked it in, ran back up. To me, I was swept in all the chaos. I really liked how that ended. So, and I really think, and Laurel, she's leaving. She's like, I don't agree with their decision or whatever. But it's like, that is legit the rules. You know what I mean? There was, I'm sorry that there was an extra hole in that log for you, Laurel. You know what I mean? Sucks. But she's gone, Scott.
I guess I feel similar to what you felt last week when Wes left, because he was stirring up so much chaos and everything was kind of just interesting with him there.
Right.
So now with Laurel leaving at this point, and she was stirring up so much chaos, I feel a little depleted for the season now. I'm like, because with Wes gone, I was still like, well, we still got Laurel in there causing chaos. Like she's not gonna be putting on a show. And then with her gone now, I'm like, oh, okay.
I get that.
So
right
now
I
what?
get that. I get that. It's just when Laurel was really arguing the whole thing about it, and I had to put on my challenge producing hat. I was just like, no, you didn't win. You cheated. And that's what Ninja said. She was just like, we play fair here in the challenge. Remember that?
Yeah, I mean, she did miss a hole. And then instead of trying to
I hate it when that happens.
instead of trying to figure out where it was supposed to go, she did just stick it at the top and hope for the best.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh my God.
If at first you don't succeed, just stick it at the top and hope for the best.
I think that you should start naming episodes of your podcast, and this should be Michelle Branch, whatever you said earlier.
Michelle Branch out, yeah. Oh my, now that you mention it, the only reason is because I remember when I was very young, I was like, I'm going to marry that woman someday.
So, like, instead you just gave up on your dream?
No.
Is she already married?
Yeah, she married some old music producer or something like that, divorced him recently, or I just recently learned about it. But she has already remarried and shit. It sucks.
I love that you know so much about Michelle Branch right now. What's your favorite Michelle Branch song?
Everywhere. No, that's the only song I know. Or like, I just name off right there. All right, so finally, this is a whatever. Ninja stays on the U.S. Actually, not a whatever. I actually thought that there could be our first turncoat or whatever. What do you think?
Well, I did love the line that I believe Georgia said, that if you switch over to our side, you're not going to be going into elimination, essentially, is what she said. It's like, you're not going to be at the bottom. Like, we'll appreciate you over here. So that kind of made me think, she makes a good point. But at the same time, Ninja's on a winning team that has won 3 out of the 4 missions. To go over to the other side and be able to be put in by the U.S., who keeps winning, is a huge risk, and they're going to be pissed because she went to the other side. They will definitely throw her in because she would be the top dog all of a sudden on that team. And the U.S. is all about trying to get the top dogs off of that team. So I think she was smart in staying with the U.S.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I just thought that she would switch because she always gets so emotional where she's like, these people are tearing each other apart. We're supposed to be friends. It was also, Kara also cried. Remember that? Remember? She was just like, everyone's so ugly.
I just want to play everybody on my team and have fun and win each challenge and us work together. What? You're doing the same stuff as the other people. You just have more numbers on your side. That's why you wanted to play it a fun, clean game, because you have the numbers on your side. Why would you want to play any other way? Ugh.
Fucked up, man. All right. Well, hey, you know what? That was the end of the episode.
You know what? I saw people saying that this was the best episode in a long time, and fuck that. This episode was good, but episode 3 was the best episode in a long time. And it was way better than this episode. Episode 4 was still great. Episode 3, whew, getting chills on my butt hair right now because of it. What?
God.
That's an awful way to end this, so I'm sorry.
Let's just end it like that. Like, subscribe, comment. If you comment about Scott's butt hairs, man, subscribe if you're a fan of butt hairs.
Who knows? We might bring it up again.
Yeah, this was Battle of the Challenges podcast, and this was Vincent Cloud listening to Scott mention his butt hairs way more often than I would care for him to. But there you go.
And I'm Scott Allwood, so bye.
Bye.